Podcasting is networking. Café and Networking Podcast promotes entrepreneurs, startups, authors, business experts throughout the world. I'm Tom Reaoch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people from my studio in Vinhedo, São Paulo, Brazil. Today we talk with Lily Woi, and she's joining us from London, England. Lily Woi is an executive leadership and career advancement coach. Leaders hire Lily because most lack the vital soft skills and relationships to advance in their careers. She helps reevaluate, realign, and redesign their leadership style, expertise, and strategy for advancement-ready success. So, Lily, what are some of the beliefs and mindsets that hold people back in the workplace?
First of all, thanks for inviting me, Tom. I'm very glad to be here. In terms of what are some of the limiting beliefs and mindsets that hold people back in the workplace, I would say there is three common limiting beliefs that I've seen over and over again. Doesn't matter which industry or which country that you're working in. These three are, the first is the fear of being judged or the fear of embarrassment.
Right.
And this I've seen in both gender as well. I think as a human being, we have this natural longing for connection, and this leads us to being fearful of being honest or expressing ourselves because we are worried, we're going to be outcast, we're going to be judged, we're going to be excluded. And this is also especially true for underrepresented groups. They tend to be more self-conscious because at times, we are classed as the modern minority. We need to represent, we need to show that we are great at this, we are perfect. And this prevents us from making the most of opportunities and taking risks. And it's about the subtle change in the mindset from not focusing on will they like me to focusing on I'll be fine even if they don't like me.
That's the most difficult thing, I think.
Yeah, it is. And however, that is so crucial in progressing and advancing in the workplace because we will make mistakes. We would say the wrong thing. And it's about how we recover from it and move on and learn from our experience and learn from our mistakes and our failure and not let it define us. And I think that's really, I've seen the key in whether people are staying stuck in their current career or kind of advancing and moving forward with confidence.
I want to touch on the point that you mentioned, the underrepresented groups. And I agree with you. I think that sometimes that doubles the fear for a person who might have a position in a company, probably went through a lot of energy, a lot of challenges to get that. So to think they could move on to something different or higher or better, that may be a restraining factor. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do. And it's quite funny to see how this plays out in the meeting dynamics or the conversation that's being had and how careful you are with the words and how you're coming across. For example, you're either being seen as the role model by other people in the company and say, okay, I want to be that person. I want to, follow their journey and use them to pave the way for me to advance in my career. And for that person in that position, there's this immense pressure to make sure you're constantly doing the right thing. You're constantly creating opportunities. And that is great mindset to have. However, that it's easy to fall into a phase where you just play it too safe. And you are actually holding yourself back from tapping into your full potential, to tapping into the reason why you have been brought into or you have been hired or you have been promoted into your position.
Yeah, because what you mentioned is being a role model, I agree with you, but there are two sides to that I see. Obviously, other persons in a similar group may see you as an ally, but other
Mm-hmm.
persons who may not be in your group may look at you as a threat. So you really have to be aware of two different sides of the same coin.
Yeah, yeah. And kind of finding the balance of building the right relationship and
Hmm.
influencing, inspiring, and helping people to change their perception of you from a threat to an ally.
Well, Lily, what you do professionally, on one side, I see you help people wanting to move on as a leader to grow. Uh, but to that same point, do you also help shape leaders stay where they are?
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I always start out is figuring out what do you currently have.
Hmm.
The answer is not always let's change job, let's change companies, or let's change your role.
Hmm.
It could be just minor tweaks you can do in your current role that is going to increase your fulfillment, your satisfaction, or the relationship that you have with the people around you without considering what's really going on in your current position or now.
Hmm.
By just moving to a different role, changing jobs, you're just delaying the challenge or delaying the problem. It's
Hmm.
going to surface at your next role in your next company.
But as you said, if you can help persons develop their soft skills and also better their relationship, even within the company, those are double pluses.
Yeah, yeah. And you have already built a community
Hmm.
within your current company, whether you know it or not, or whether you're aware of it or not. You already have a base level of support, buy-in, and community in your current position. And it's about have you leveraged that to its full potential to get to where you want to be in your current company? And if you have, and you're still hitting a glass ceiling, okay, let's look at another company or another role that will help you to break that glass ceiling.
Or maybe help them get glass cleaner and get a better vision of what the world's about.
Exactly, exactly. Because when you start out in your career, we focus too much on developing our technical skill set
Right.
and not enough in our relationship building or our people development skills.
Hmm.
And as you advance in your career, relationship forms a big part
Right.
of career success. And knowing how to build and nurture the right relationship is going to get you to where you want to be.
And that's where the future is. So, Lily, how can our listeners find you?
So if you're looking to advance in your career or be successful in a way that suits you, you can find me at LinkedIn under Lily Woi, or check out my website where there is a lot of free resources at lilywoicoaching.com.
Very good. So, I want to thank you again for being part of our show today, Lily.
Thank you for inviting me, Tom.
And for our listeners, it's Lily Woi. The first name is Lily, the last name Woi. You'll find her on LinkedIn. And Lily Woi Coaching. That's LILYWOICOACHING.com. Right, Lily?
That's right.
Okay. Take care and thanks again.
Thanks, Tom.
And Café and Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information about them on their website, www.focusmi.com. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Café and Networking Podcast.